It's a good day for a great day. It's Christy Kennedy Ward, Women's Worth and Wellness expert, your massive momentum mentor. The professor of possibility is here with Coco Chanel, the diva dog. She's wearing her glamour to the bone dress. Hey. So on today, our jewel for the journey is this. One second, let me give her a treat. Here. Okay. Confession leads to possession. Confession leads to possession. What are you saying each and every day? When we wake up in the morning, the first thing that comes to our minds is not always positive, especially if the day before you've had a really arduous day. And so you may not just be able to pop up. What do? You begin to train your body. Your mind has to speak to it with your lips. You tell yourself, I generate 20K a day on Automate. Whatever it is that you want to manifest in your world. And it may not happen overnight, but it will happen if you continue to concentrate on your ultimate desire. So I've been talking with a lot of women lately, and many are frustrated. They're feeling stuck in a rut in that box. And we're going to look at a simple success strategy to get you out of that place. Working at 8 to 5 is not it for everyone, especially if you're called to entrepreneurship. And I say this all the time. You will always feel misaligned. You will feel disconnected, especially if it's not ultimately related to your divine purpose, because that's where fulfillment comes from, when we're doing what we've been created to do. So the word big means of utmost importance. It's of considerable intensity. And if you're going to go after this big dream, your vision, it requires intensity. You cannot be lackadaisical about your goals. So you invest in your vision on Monday and it never sees you again until 3 months later. It's not going to happen. I received an inbox today from, Early to Rise. And in the newsletter, they talk about Picasso and how he produced over 50,000 works of art in his lifetime, which meant, they said, he had to be creating a piece of art at least once a day since the age of 13. He was dedicated to this craft, and there is this myth that he was sitting outside of a cafe in Paris, and this lady came up to him and asked him if he would create a work of art for her picture. And once he completed it in 30 seconds, he said that would be $1 million. And she was taken aback. $1 million, you did it in 30 seconds. He said, it took me 30 years to learn how to do it in 30 seconds. So know your worth right there. When you're working for somebody else, more than likely they're going to be paying you pennies on the dollars. It's just the real truth, because the system is not set up for you to become wealthy. It's set up for them to become wealthy. So here is, this rubber band represents your 9 to 5. And the 9 to 5, you can only go so far. So say, for instance, you get a promotion, so you may go up a little bit. But that's all. There's always going to be a cap on your potential. It's going to be a cap on how far you can grow. More than likely, you end up changing jobs. You'll go somewhere else, and you'll start that process all over again, right? It's kind of insane. So how do we break out of that? Oliver Wendell Holmes said that when the mind is stretched by a new idea, it will never return to its original dimension. So in order for you to break out of that rut, what you're going to have to do is cut the thought. That thought does not serve you. That thought is hindering you. That thought that you think that only this job can provide for you. The thought that says that you need that security. If you don't keep that job, you'll lose your insurance. You have to cut that stuff, honey. You don't need it in your life. So if you're going after big, it requires that you intensify, you fortify, you multiply, and you occupy exactly what it is that you want. The mind, once it's stretched by a new idea, you have to replace those old ideas with something new in order to possess what you confess. Make galactic happen, and I'll talk to you real soon.